yelling at each other, doing
we were
this.
Like, oh my God, what's going on? Can you believe this?
Whoa! Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to a very special episode of Membriash. Do you do that every time? The air horn.
It was bad today. It's like too slow or something. That's better.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with me. That's what I feel like I'm doing.
You weren't that slow. We are answering people's questions in celebration of our 5K. It happens to line up with our 1-year anniversary as well. We might do a different... I would thought it'd be fun to like react to one of our first videos for 1 year.
Oh my God.
And then I thought it'd be...
Secondhand embarrassment.
I know, it'd be great.
Also, I just called it secondhand embarrassment.
Secondhand embarrassment. We might do that separately.
Oh, God.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
But today we are answering a bunch of y'all's questions, and I love the personality that's coming out in the questions, honestly. I will say, I went through the last several videos. I looked for every question I could find. We put them all in a list here, and I don't think... I didn't intentionally skip any.
Yeah.
So if we missed it, you can throw your question in the comments below, and I'll answer it via text.
Also, like, we're not very organized, so...
We're very disorganized people.
This is like a labor of love doing all of this.
Yes.
Honestly.
Should we hop right in?
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm nervous now. I gotta like talk about myself. It's easier when I talk about the people on the screen.
Oh my God, I love like a panel or like a question and answer. I love it. Okay. I love it so much. I don't know why, but I like enjoy it quite a bit.
Question number 1 from... I'll try and read all the names, and if I get it wrong, I apologize. Chantal 868. Question for the 5K Q&A. Where did you two meet?
Well, technically, we met in middle school.
I signed her middle school yearbook without knowing who she was.
Right, because that's the kind of child I was, going around getting yearbook signatures from people I didn't know.
You're a new kid in the area, too, so...
Yeah.
That was your first year there, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't... Because you were at my school, but I didn't know who you were because you were new.
But we didn't actually, like, know each other until...
High school.
Senior year of high school.
Senior year of high school. We were in, like, 2 of the same classes, and then... kind of sat pretty far away from each other for a while, and then...
And I was pretty close friends with your best friend at the time, who lived at your house.
Yeah, he lived in my house. But we'll get... I'm sure there are more questions about it, like our relationship and stuff.
Aloe and Salt says, can you tell your love story? I also love love. That's awesome. And introduce your pets.
We're not going to be showing them here because it's complicated, but for the pets. First is the love story, though, because actually that's perfect segue from the last one.
Oh, that's true.
Look, I set this up. Just going to say I vaguely organized these questions.
Thank you for that effort.
Yeah, you're welcome. Our love story was that you're friends with my best friend. Actually, pretty good friends with my best friend.
Yeah.
Who was living at my house, and he was like, hey, there's this girl I know that I think you'd like, and we're gonna like go to Fazoli's,
which is like a local-ish Italian chain.
Is it local? I don't know.
Near us, we didn't have one in our town, but there was one like 20 minutes away. Manitowoc.
All right. So I just hopped in a van with a bunch of people I didn't know super well, although I was pretty good friends with one of your best friends too.
Yes,
Kevin.
You were.
So it was like kind of knew some of these people. You were bouncing off the walls like crazy.
Listen, I had undiagnosed ADHD at the time. Okay.
You were hitting. This is when I fell in love with her. Okay, or when I was like, ooh, she seems kind of interesting. She was like screaming and banging. Was it an umbrella?
Yeah.
On the ceiling of his car, of his van. It's an old van, right? But you're denting permanently the shit out of the van. Like, ah!
Okay, I had very little understanding of like the consequences of my actions at like 17 years old. So I just want to say that I would not treat someone's van like this now, and it was completely inappropriate.
You're 17.
Just the way it bounced off the ceiling and then the floor, it just felt right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it felt right. So that's when I fell in love.
Yeah. Also,
you kind of had an eye for me. You want to share your little story?
Well, before we went to Fazoli's, you used to walk in our neighborhood.
I lived in our neighborhood.
Well, sure, yeah.
We actually were like 3 blocks over 10 blocks.
Yeah, really close.
3 to 5 blocks
really
away from each other. Yeah.
But he used to walk to and from school, and he had this
uphill both ways.
It was not. There was like no uphill.
Yeah, it's pretty flat.
It was flat. Yeah, flat both ways. But he had this like long trench coat.
It was my brother's. He had moved out, and
anyway, so
I had long hair too.
Yeah, you had long hair, this long trench coat. And yeah, I don't know, I was just into it. It looked brooding.
Introducing our pets, we have Ollie.
Who's graduating with honors? Is that you? Are you graduating with honors?
And then we also have Jerry, who's our new addition to the house.
Is that your first trachea, Jerry? Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I do need to introduce Duke, though. He was our best friend for 4 years.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Hey, buddy. Yeah. Yes, you are. Oh, you're a big regal man, aren't you? Well, I gotta get out the frame. See, now they know. Oh, who would you? Oh, you gonna do? Look at this.
He's like food.
And he died a month ago, so it's been really hard for us to even like talk about. And he's like, I don't know if people like understand this, but I've heard this term of soul dog, and he was like, we adopted him 4 years ago. He was like totally changed our life around, and he's been our best friend. And yeah, it's been really hard without him. So, but he's still a big part of the family, even if he's recently gone.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hang a picture of him right up here behind us so that he's with us all the time.
We have both said that we would continue to adopt XL pit bulls when they're available from like our local humane societies. So when Duke passed, even though it was really difficult, we went pretty quickly, and there was another 80-pound pit bull at our local shelter, and that's Jerry. So
he was on death's door too, because he had a pneumonia. It was a horrible situation.
Yeah, it was really
bad. He's looking
bad.
really healthy right now, and he's doing really well. But yeah, he was in a rough place, and I'm glad we were able to save him. And he's lovely, and I love him.
Yes.
And yeah, he's a great addition to the household.
Wonderful, wonderful boy. Well, it was heavy.
Heavy.
Heavier than anticipated.
Yeah. That's we've been sort of beating around the bush, but we can't really with all these questions about like our pets because they're such a big part of our life.
Yeah.
And we're gonna end up talking more about it because he ties into some of the other questions too. But it's one of the reasons we've been having such a hard time in the last month, and I've been kind of like we haven't been as necessarily always as communicative in the comments. I've just been honestly depressed. I cry almost every single day.
Yeah, it's just been really hard.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody understanding. Anyway, let's go back and forth between that. We'll cut around all the tears.
There's another question on that.
Oh, was there? Oh, yeah, you're right. Delaba Linguenia. 7188 asks a question for the Q&A. You two have been together for 20 years. I've heard you say we're at like 19 and a half right now. We're about to hit 20.
Yeah. So we round up.
Yeah, we round. I mean, it's close. When you hit
close.
19, you say practically
close.
20.
Yeah.
Hope it's not too nosy to ask if y'all have ever dated, been in relationships with other people before or during the 20 years. Yeah, before.
Yeah, we
sort
both
of,
had
technically
like early high school relationships.
Yeah.
My
first girlfriend cheated on me.
Yeah.
She just kissed somebody else. We weren't
But he
even like.
sucked. To be
He
fair,
sucked,
he
yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been as bad if he hadn't sucked so bad.
Yeah, he was an asshole, and she was not great. But I don't know.
I really liked my first high school
Yeah.
boyfriend. I actually am the one that like pursued him and asked him out, and he was like a really good boyfriend. But I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. Sometimes there is no physical
chemistry?
connection with another person, and that is what he and I experienced, unfortunately. So he's lovely, and I hope that he's doing well. I think it's also fair to say we've had I don't know if I would call it rough patches. We were off and on dating for the first probably 4 years of our relationship. We would break up periodically.
We never really dated other people.
No.
But we had people that were interested in both of us, and tension in our relationship. And I don't think
Sure.
we nothing really happened, but it was you know what I mean? It was kind of awful all around.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I wouldn't necessarily suggest the relationship that we had to any other human being, to be honest with
it's
you.
bad. So
it was rough.
Keep that in mind when we answer the questions about what makes a healthy relationship later on.
And then do you not want to say we also briefly separated for I don't know, a few months, like several years back.
Yeah.
Neither of us have ever been on Tinder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not like we've only exclusively ever dated each other, but also never serious relationships with other people either. So kind of the answer is complicated. We've definitely not been like only each other for like the entirety of all of our
20 years,
relationship, like dating, but the time that we've been apart has been short.
Yeah, and never again.
I can't imagine it happening again, but like life is weird, you know.
Oh,
Life
no,
hits
life's
you
crazy,
sometimes,
man,
you know. Catherine Dury 8490 says, "Can you talk about the birds frames that are behind you, especially the red one behind Ashley? I can't figure out what it is."
We may have moved it unless you're talking about that. I think there was a different bird back here before. We just updated our wall, and it's actually we hung a bunch of stuff up the other day in anticipation of also hanging Duke up over here. But we updated our bird wall here, and this is actually pretty exciting for me.
This one, we got it in a estate sale recently, and I think it looks like Mitchell is a little grumpy, and then I am like snuggling into him, and I feel like that is our relationship a little bit. So this one is new. These two are finches, I think. This one is a bird feather. I don't know.
Oh, it's a bird made of bird feathers.
It's a bird made of bird feathers from Mexico. And then this one is a tiny pheasant.
Yeah, 2 pheasants actually.
Mm-hmm. And can they see that
one?
one?
Oh, ostriches is actually one of our first birds and one of my favorites.
I don't know what it is with me, but if I walk into like a vintage store or like a thrift store or something like that and there's a bird painting, there is like a solid possibility it's coming into our home. Honestly,
and I'm not like, we're not actually super crazy into birds, but I've been getting, if y'all have seen those memes online about like you turn like 35 and you suddenly start getting into birds, but I'm like, ooh, what is that? Like what kind of bird is that? Every time I see an eagle, I'm like, eagle, and you know what I mean, like every time. We actually played a game in the car for a while called Hawkeye, which is if you see a bird.
A bird of prey.
And we're saying vultures don't count for this because I don't think they technically are, but we don't count them.
We don't count vultures.
So hawks or kites or eagles, you scream like a hawk. So you go, ah! While you're driving down the highway.
You do that,
And then it often startles the other person. But you get the point by calling the hawk first.
And it's different points for different hawks. So if you want to play along with this on your own, if it's just a hawk in the sky, that's 1 point. If it's a hawk in the grass. Groundhawk. That's 2 points. If it's 2 hawks battling midair, 5 points.
I thought it was like, no, I thought there was is it just 5 points?
Just 5 points.
We've never seen that. No, we have seen it once. We've seen hawks battling before. Anyway, there are a lot of birds of prey in the Columbia River Gorge area.
Or did we say, I think we ended up saying that a hawk carrying its prey, so carrying a mouse, carrying a fish, that was 3.
Okay.
So
I feel like hawks battling was like an auto win. It's like the
we may have ended up saying
it's like the Quidditch, like the golden snitch or whatever. It's like you just
stop
done.
playing.
Yeah,
You're done.
it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There you go, Hawkeye. Lots of questions about our YouTubing journey. Ask why. I just gotta say too, and I'm identifying it with this person. I appreciate seeing a lot of the same faces and names. And I know Ask Why and several people we've already read about have been here for a while, so I appreciate y'all hanging out and coming up with questions for us. What made you want to start YouTubing?
Do you want me to answer that one?
Well, I think it was more you. It was mostly you that wanted to start doing it.
So I got really sick a few years back. I guess there are going to be a couple of heavy topics
Quite
in
a
here.
few. It's actually most of your adult life.
It's actually it's been a lot.
We just figured it out. Yeah.
Anyway, so I was really, really sick, like constantly. They knew me in the emergency room. It's never a place that you want to get to where you like recognize the nurse in the emergency room and they recognize you. And
it's not because they're kicking you out.
No,
it's because you need the help.
They're
not like go home. They're like, okay, you should have come in sooner.
Yeah. So I was really, really sick and I couldn't do a lot of stuff. And that meant like go to my job. Like I couldn't, at one point I'd had a few surgeries. I couldn't like walk down the block. Like I could barely get up and get myself to the bathroom and back to bed for a little while. So I watched a lot.
You're in like
YouTube.
Constant excruciating pain every single day.
It was very,
so
very
even
rough.
like laying in bed, it was just awful.
Yes, it was crap.
It was horrible.
And I think the thing you like realize when that happens is like how crappy most people are in life. And like I hope that you haven't had this experience, but if you have, I hope people haven't treated you this way, but a lot of people in my life just were not there. So I was like alone a lot. And I watched a lot of YouTube and it was incredibly comforting to me. And I like Oh, I'm getting like emotional.
It's okay. No, it's okay. No, it was big.
It was big.
Don't be sorry for
Oh my
emotions.
god, I'm gonna cry through this whole thing though.
It's okay. There are gonna be a lot of tears today, folks. This is what you asked for.
Anyway, so the people that I watched, I was, you really do end up feeling like you know people, and you know like a piece of their life, and it's different than Instagram. And I love Instagram, I love TikTok, those are great platforms, but those are really small snippets, and it's really, a lot of it is like idealized content where like people are showing you.
It's like kind of fakey in a way,
right.
like
it's
this
like
amazing
a
ruins
photo,
or this,
and
like,
look at this amazing
landscape.
vacation I took, and being in those spaces of social media at that time for me was not good. It made me feel bad about myself.
And YouTube's full of f***ups and freaks.
Right.
So here we are.
YouTube was like a whole bunch of people just like me, like doing weird stuff and being like, I don't know, kind of dumb. So I really started wanting to do something similar, and I didn't know what it looked like, but I just loved the connection that you can build with people on YouTube. And then, like, you and I have talked about this, but the pressure is kind of removed. Like, if you ever need to opt out and not watch one of our videos, you can. And we're not offended, and like, it's not a big deal. And then at the same time, if you want to watch a video and we put a video up, you can. Like, I love the amount of interaction that it allows you to have with people, and the connection it allows you to build with people without the expectation that that person is going to be in your day-to-day life, because maybe they can't, in the case where I was sick, or, whatever happens. Like, it's not the expectations that you have with kind of like your in-person friends and family aren't necessarily as strong on YouTube. And I think that can be really healthy and really supportive for people at different points in their life.
And to anybody who, like, I actually used to be kind of on this train where you like shit on social media a little bit, like, oh, it's not real life. I play D&D online with people. I talk to my parents online, and I do this. That's my entire social life, except for you and your mother.
Right.
Pretty much. I have like one friend like outside of that. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of value in that, and not that it's why we started, and maybe this will answer a question later on, but like being able, like, this end of being on the content creation and like connecting with people through here has been really cool too. So it's not just like watching people. I feel like it's very connecting from both sides.
I think so too.
Like, I'm seeing these names and I'm viewing them as like friends.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm like.
It's weird because I know that there are negatives to parasocial relationships, but I actually do think there are positives sometimes too.
There can be, yeah.
And like, I feel like YouTube is just YouTube's not perfect, I'm not trying to say that, but I just think it's a really good platform for that kind of thing. Like, you get more of people on YouTube than you do on like Instagram and places like that.
It's a lot deeper.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say, I didn't know that the channel was going to be like this. Like,
we had no idea.
Just happened because it was what we liked.
Yeah. That's what y'all liked.
Yeah.
Let's start with Nicola Berry 7912. Question number 1: who got into reality TV, or were you both avid watchers? That one's easy because her. I think. No, what reality TV did I love before? Like, a lot.
None. But virtually none.
Yeah.
But I will say this, okay?
Actually,
this is like
most of my adult life, or even like childhood life, I like shit talked reality TV. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
But this is like, there's like the people that do the TikToks and the stuff. There's one where it's like the guy is like, oh, you're watching your reality shows, meh. And then he's like standing at the doorway
later,
and he's like,
what's going on?
What are you doing? You
don't watch that without me?
Yeah, right. And that is what happened. Because
that is what happened.
I was watching Love is Blind season 5, I think. And then you say to me, I start to turn it on when you were like going to go do something else, and you go, you're watching that without me? And I was like, you don't like this. And you were like, I want to watch it together.
Yeah. So we both like it. Also, we've both been, to answer Nicola Berry's third question before the second, would you ever consider covering shows like Survivor? We're both super into Survivor. We've considered actually doing the next season here. So if people are interested in that, we might try it out anyway because we love Survivor. And it's a fun show.
I think we should do it anyway.
Yeah, it's a fun show. I love it.
Yeah, we'll do the next season because it's so freaking fun. I love it.
For me, that answers question number 2. Survivor's my favorite reality TV show. I just love where it is right now because it's a game, but it is political, and it's like you see like human interaction savvy, like votes and all that crap. Like, I don't know, it has a lot of intrigue that I enjoy.
I also really like Survivor, and then I watched The Challenge for years.
Oh, The Challenge!
Love that show. 873.
I think it's PC, but isn't it PS, right? You trying to talk to a cat here? 873.
My question is, what made you decide to film YouTube reaction videos? How to go from an idea to a thing?
You're watching a Mr. Gigi video. You wanna
Mr. Gigi, yeah. I love Mr. Gigi, and I watched a Q&A video with Mr. Gigi, and someone was like, hey, how do I decide like how to cultivate my audience? And he was like, dude, like, you don't have one yet. He's like, just put out crap. He's like, just do it. Crap. Just do it and hold yourself to it and keep putting out crap. And he's like, and eventually you'll figure out what you like to do, and eventually you'll figure out, like, you'll find an audience and it'll, you know, kind of work itself out. And he's like, but just don't worry about it. Yeah. Just put out garbage. So that's what we did.
So that's what we did. We tried out a couple of different things, and we just started trying. Golden Bachelor was the first thing that we started doing reactions to.
Do you know what was a big impetus for the reaction, though? Is that when you and I watched Love is Blind Season 5, we were in our house just reacting, right? Like, just like being yelling at each other, doing this. We were like, oh my God, what's going on? Can you believe this? Whoa! Right. And then we were also like, oh, I want to talk to other people about this. Like, I want to know what other people think, whatever. And we were like, feels like this could be a thing that we did on YouTube.
I like this next question. Tasha Tachenkas says, for your for your 5Q Q&A, what's your process? Do you watch and comment the whole time over the show and then pick some parts and edit, or do you pause only when you have something to say, the rest you're quiet? Basically what we do is we run the show and we talk over it, and we half pay attention to the show, we half pay attention to each other. If it's big enough on the show, you'll see me be like, oh, something's happening, or I'll try and get drawn back in. Sometimes we'll laugh at each other's jokes, sometimes we'll miss them because it's just a total ball of chaos. It's the only way for us to get through it. We talk so much anyway that if we paused every time we had something to say, it would take us like 3, 4, 5 hours of film. It would suck. And so we just run through it.
Editing it already is a nightmare because neither of us shut up. So like the entire time we're editing, like it's not like we can go look at the places where we're talking and edit around that. Like that does not work. Lori ME1534, what pets do you have? What kind of music do you like? Which of the reality shows is your favorite? I think we've done 2 of the 3, so we'll do what kind of music do you like?
I hate to say like all types, but it is sort of true. I don't know. I kind of like, when I was younger, I grew up on like metal and alternative rock and indie. My brother was more into like hard rock and metal and stuff, and so I kind of was influenced by that. You know, like hip hop and rap. I like classical music. I play guitar now as well. I taught myself that, and so I like some classical shit or like Spanish guitar and stuff. And what else? Pop. I like dance music and stuff too. I used to one of my jobs, I used to work at a phone center, and I'd have like one earbud in, like playing EDM, and I'd be like, yeah, how can I help you?
This is a hard question for me. I think I mostly like dance music and rock music. I think it's easier for me to say what I don't like. I do not like country music. It doesn't mean country music is bad. I just don't like it. I'm just not into it. And then, listen, hot take. If you're not ready for a hot take,
don't ask a question.
Turn your, mute for a minute, okay?
Yeah.
I don't like Taylor Swift.
Oh, you saying it. You're saying it.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
But you also dislike the social zeitgeist around it almost more than you dislike the music.
It's not that I dislike the music so bad. I don't love billionaires. I don't really make exceptions for that.
I don't feel like girl boss billionaire. Yeah,
I don't love the fan group for people in my age. If you're not in it, is a little aggressive. I don't like that. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm gonna get skewered in the comments, but it's just not for me. If it's for you, I love that for you. I love it for you, but I don't love it for me, so it's not for me. But yeah, I'm really into System of a Down. I really like and listen to a lot. Gojira, I like and listen to on a fairly regular basis.
Especially like Robin.
Oh, I love Robin. Peaches. I like Peaches. Okay.
That was a long answer.
Next one.
What are both your guilty pleasure? Okay, Sarah Trees says, what are both of your guilty pleasure movies, TV, music, and books?
Guilty pleasure. So that's stuff people would judge you for.
Okay, guilty pleasure for me. Favorite movie series of all time as a guilty pleasure, not pure favorite, is going to be Twilight. I've been saying this for years. I love those movies, and I'm excited to watch another have another go of it. We actually entertained moving to Forks at one point too. Not because of that. It was actually us just like we wanted to live up in that region of the country, and we thought about that as a choice before we moved into this house. We looked around, and we saw like the Twilight museum and Twihards like walking around the town and stuff is very interesting. That's probably my biggest guilty pleasure movie.
You have other stuff? You have guilty pleasure
Well,
music?
you go ahead. You hit one of those others.
I mean, my guilty pleasure TV is the TV I watch on here.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, actually, that's true. That's true. Like,
my guilty pleasure movie is Cruel Intentions.
Cruel Intentions.
Would love to learn about your guys' hobbies. Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Yeah, we were seeing a couples counselor a couple years ago, and I didn't realize how many hobbies we had until we were talking to him about all the things we do. Would you like to start off the list?
Sure. Hobbies include, we'll do current hobbies and then we'll do like the hobbies on ice, you know?
Hobbies on ice.
Current hobbies, we are pretty avid mushroom foragers.
We just found several pounds of lobsters and chanterelles with that last bit of rain we got.
Not so into the like special mushroom territory, but very into the like cooking mushrooms. We love to cook with mushrooms, so we go foraging a lot.
I'm excited for some porcinis this fall.
Another fairly active hobby is bouldering. Do you have any other like active hobbies? Like what goes on? You have Dungeons and Dragons.
I play guitar almost daily. I only picked it up like 3 years ago. And then I play Dungeons and Dragons. We play video games like Baldur's Gate and Civ.
I watch horror movies.
You watch horror movies?
Sometimes we watch horror movies. Sometimes I watch horror movies. It's like more kind of my hobby than yours. But I like horror movies, but I also like good movies. I love watching shorts, like animated shorts, live action shorts. I really love movies and like film.
You've got other hobbies.
What?
Macrame.
Oh, those are the on ice. We're going to ice now?
We're going to ice.
So hobbies that we are not currently participating in.
But we might at some point, any given day, really.
Any given day. Macrame. Crochet, I'm trying to teach myself. I haven't crocheted in months, though, so to keep your expectations low for my commitment level. I
got pretty heavily into photography almost 10 years ago. Don't do that really anymore.
Gardening. We attempt to grow vegetables.
We've done pretty good.
So I think that's mostly it. Oh, we do.
We got roller skates that we don't use.
Yeah, we have roller skates
that we want to.
We walk up rivers and
river outdoor shit.
Yeah, we like small rivers. We'll walk
water shoes.
In water shoes,
it's and like water hiking
in like the swimming holes.
Yeah, that's fun. There's some cool rivers out here. Yeah.
We didn't get to go this summer because of the situation with our dog, but we typically do that quite a bit. Yeah. I think that's about it.
Is that it?
I have a Santer.
You have a Santer that you refused to tune, and you're like,
you were tuning it for me, and then you got halfway through and you stopped.
Okay, you tune a Santer and tell me how friggin' easy it is. Jesus. Like, I have to guess what the notes are because they're not Western music, and there isn't
so good. It sounds, the part that's tuned sounds...
Yeah. All right, well... Do you have any favorite reality TV show that you've covered so far, and a favorite contestant from Lana Serene 5685? Favorite reality show that we've covered so far? Well, it kind of ties into one of our other questions, but didn't we like Ultimatum South Africa?
Ultimatum South Africa.
It was the most fun to watch, the most fun to talk with people about.
Yeah.
I don't know, a lot of these shows and seasons have been really fun, but it was our first time doing non-American content, I think. Yeah, and we don't know much about South Africa, so it's really cool, getting to learn about the country, talking to people.
Yeah, people to answer questions for us, amazing. And the back and forth commentary on that one was awesome. I loved that one.
Do you have a different answer?
For favorite reality show?
Yeah, that we've covered.
No, but I do want to say I have a favorite reality show contestant, but not from a show that we've covered.
That's fine. Hit it.
My favorite reality show contestant is CT from The Challenge.
Yeah. Legend.
I just really like him.
Yeah. Is there a comment you've read that made you burst out laughing? Oh my God, so many. Honestly, so many. I love the riffing and the jokes and I don't know. I try to respond to people when things really hit me, but constantly. I love
so many.
Hopping into the comments and just seeing something that makes me laugh.
It's hard to pick out one. And I think if we picked out one, it wouldn't really do justice to the number of ones that are really funny. Because people are so funny.
we laugh a lot. It's not just on camera.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big part of our life is like trying to make each other laugh. And then I love it. I love like the humor that's in the comments as well. Are we going to cover Grotesquerie September 4th or in September by Ryan Murphy?
For Grotesquerie, probably not. Just because our American Horror Story episodes don't do well. They're fun. Like I have a blast filming them, but like it's kind of hard to dedicate time to stuff that you know is like more of a passion project,
especially a weekly show like that where right now things are slow, but then it's going to bleed into the time when we're posting like videos every single day. I've been finding that it's actually really difficult. That's the same thing with like Bachelor series stuff is like, oh, we're picking it up at a slow time, but it always ends up hitting the hard time eventually. And then it's kind of like hard to prioritize. So
probably not.
We might watch it though. Yeah,
I'll watch it for sure.
We like. Honestly, I have love-hate relationship with Ryan Murphy horror. Same. But there's enough love in there for me.
He puts anything out though, I will watch it.
It's true. I've been watching a lot of the AHSs.
Right. Next one is from Restomary 5739. From what I've seen so far, you seem open-minded about the idea of non-monogamy. I think that's fair. As a polyamorous person, I always love people being capable of also watching through a pair of non-monogamous classes. Do you have any specific experiences that made you capable of a broader point of view?
I think it's I think no specific experiences except for me it is growing up in a really conservative area, like having abstinence only education and not believing in any of that. We're not religious. I have no reason to believe one man, one woman. For me it's very logical that there isn't just one way to live, basically. And I don't personally want a non-monogamous life, but I don't have any problem with it. And if our world was different, let's say you were like, I don't want to do monogamy, and like it like I don't know, like maybe I could be convinced. Or if I was in the dating world, would I be in a non-monogamous position? Maybe. But like for me, I'm so comfortable and happy in our relationship that it's like, you know, I'm not trying to open it up. But like I don't have any moral or logical issue with it. Is basically where I stand.
I feel slightly differently. I grew up with a close family member that was incredibly religious, and they shaped my like view of the world really heavily. So
in a negative way?
Well, no, like I think it was I like the person I am now, but I am not a religious person, and I wasn't even as a teenager. And this person judged my lifestyle choices very heavily for something that it had no bearing on them. And I think because of that, like I might make a joke or a quip or whatever about somebody on a TV show, but in terms of like the entire polyamorous community, I'm never going to tell, like, what does that have to do with me? Like, I am never going to tell someone else how to live their life. I don't think that monogamy is better than polyamory. I don't know how I would be the one that would know that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always people that only live in one like avenue too that's saying that the other thing is worse, you know?
And like the amount of disdain this family member had for me and my life choices,
which were also like benign and like within like the Christian American perspective, you're still doing a good job. Frankly, for the most part.
And still, like, it was so judgmental and awful that to me it's like, if you're not hurting me and you're not hurting other people, like, go for it.
Have fun.
And then if I take this question, I'm not sure the direction of this question, but if I take this a little more, like, literally, I would say, like, we have not had the experience of having an open relationship between the two of us. We have not had, like, threesomes or anything like that where we've, like, brought another person into our relationship. And that's just, like, been how we've interacted with each other. But like you, I think if you came home and you were like, I would want to try an open relationship, I think I would be shocked. But then I don't know that I would say no to, like, having an open relationship. I don't personally, it just seems complicated.
It seems complicated. More than anything, I ain't got time for that. I'm happy being here every day with just you, frankly.
Yeah, me too.
That's the bottom line. I don't have interest in other people.
Right. But if I did, I would also want a partner that would respect, like, at least respect having the conversation around it with me.
Yeah, I hear that. Stephanie 03 311 311.
0311.
It's 311. Whoa. All right, question for the Q&A. What do you guys like to do besides watching shows on YouTube? Where was the best... Okay, we already sort of answered that, so we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Where was the best vacation you took or best place you visited? We have never... Well, I've never been out of the country.
I have. It wasn't pleasant, so...
It's hard for me to say best place because my best vacation, I didn't vacation much as a kid. My favorite vacations were cross-country road trips with you. We went to Moab and we went to Carlsbad Caverns.
Yeah.
And we were just driving through like the Southwest and shit. And that trip was crazy. We stopped at quite a few different places and it was amazing. Also like going out to like Yellowstone and the Tetons. And seeing all those mountains out there, that was so amazing, honestly. Just like the middle of the country, like mountain zones, like
that was my favorite place was the Tetons. But then secondarily, in Montana, there's this place where they have this like setup of all these Buddhas and it's like on this hill and you like walk up to it and it's free, but they request donations to like maintain the property.
And there's like nobody there ever.
Oh,
it's
so
empty,
beautiful.
It's serene.
In the middle of Montana, like nowhere Montana.
Yeah, and there are mountains all over the place and the the prayer flags flapping in the wind and all the Buddha statues. It's really cool.
And then in Missoula, Montana, there's a bar there.
There was anyway.
I think there probably still is.
Okay.
And if I'll put it on the screen, the name of it, if any of y'all are going to Missoula. But that bar, if you like to drink alcohol, the drinks were so good. Best drinks I've ever had anywhere.
Yeah.
And very unique too. Like really, really cool. I really liked that place and I liked Missoula a lot.
I agree. That's like actually like Montana is one of our favorite places that isn't the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
For those reasons.
If you had to live with one Love is Blind person from any season, who would you pick to live with? Like to live with, like to throuple, or like to live with? Like,
I don't know.
Are they staying on our couch, or are they coming into our relationship?
Those are different questions. Let's just say like living in a house with. I don't know that we have to be like married to them. They didn't say like it was a relationship.
I'll tell you. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Do you have someone?
I don't know. I'm just like trying to think like who's tame and not annoying. Like
I have one.
Yeah.
Milton.
The guy that married the tall guy. Lydia. Okay. He was pretty chill.
Yeah, he was pretty chill. He's pretty dorky.
Yeah.
I feel like he could
I bet you like hang out.
I bet he played D&D with you.
Oh, yeah, actually Milton. Yeah. Would you show us anything you've crafted? Well, I'm going to pop up a picture here of my kitchen if I can find it. I almost a decade ago now, I fixed a kitchen for a house we were living in and it looked like this. And
you built the cabinets from scratch.
Yeah.
Demoed literally down to
all sorts.
Demoed the ceiling. Yeah. Took out a wall.
Yeah. And then for you, well, let me just put this thing on.
Okay, we're going bad to good, okay?
Oh, so this is my tabard.
You're wearing it inside out, so fix that immediately.
My bad. My bad. This is going to be a shirt one day.
Yeah, this is my first attempt at a sweater. Please send help.
Please clap. Please clap.
It literally looks like medieval, like, I don't even know.
It's my tabard.
I don't understand why it's so ugly. Please, someone tell me. It's so ugly. But anyway, I'm going to try and finish it this winter. I'm going to try and add ribbing. This is too low, right? Like, what happened here?
I don't know. It's a scoop neck. This is what it is. Scoop neck. You ever seen a scoop neck before?
I was trying for, like, oversized. Did you see it? I was trying for oversized, like, ribbing on the bottom, ribbing... I don't know.
Do you see it?
It's not working.
All right. Moving on.
Okay, but the thing that I like and I'm pretty proud of is this macrame that I made. I sourced this driftwood from...
Oh, she likes sourcing driftwood.
a local river. I love bringing driftwood home. It pisses you off to no end.
Well, because you don't have room for it. You just bring sticks. You bring sticks home like a dog.
One time I went on a hike and I wasn't sure I was supposed to take the sticks.
God, you're
and I shoved them in my pants.
Yeah, that's true. You did.
Anyway, so I like this guy. I think I'm better at macrame than I am at crochet.
All right.
Crochet's harder.
And we're going to hope to see some of those recontinue soon.
Yeah. Next question is from Grace M9272. I finally have a question for you both. Oh, excellent. Do you intend on coming to see Oasis next year in the UK? It's so exciting. Well,
sounds fun.
No.
We basically don't air travel.
I love Oasis though. Okay,
It sounds fun.
I have a few thoughts on this. We don't travel via air. We just, for multiple reasons.
The tickets all got. Oh, sorry. I'm jumping.
Yeah, it's too far. We don't plane.
We don't plane.
Us planes, no. So no. And then
by boat.
And also boats, no.
Obviously not boats.
So that's a no. But I love Oasis.
Yeah.
And then
Grace, are you going to see Oasis?
Did you get tickets?
Holy
right.
crap.
Because I heard it like shut down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There were a lot of people that were trying to get tickets and couldn't get tickets. And then also, are they still going to be together by the time
I know
the shows come up?
Are those tickets refundable?
Truly, like, I just don't know. I worry about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Terry Negron asks, what exactly is wrong with your roof? Well, not as much as would require probably a full re-roof, but we had several leaking issues.
Yeah.
Mostly around the chimney. We also had to redo all of our fascia. Where the gutter attaches to, and that was all rotting away because the people that installed it last time did it poorly and then didn't patch it appropriately, and the gutters were falling apart, meaning that they were completely shot. I had to rip them all off, and we decided rather than there were enough like little things wrong. This house is so messed up when we bought it. There's enough little things wrong. We decided just to do the full re-roof, patch all the holes, install appropriate venting so that it will last longer, and then do the gutters at the same time. So we're almost actually to the end of that process, and this next couple of days I will hopefully get it almost entirely done and ready for the gutters.
It's also where it's saying that we had someone come out to check our roof because we just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
And he basically convinced us that it was like rotting from the inside out and like it was going to fall down if we didn't re-roof it.
Also, we were going to pay him $2,000 to do some of the smaller things, much smaller things. And it only costs a little over double that to do the whole thing from scratch. That's one of the big things.
Yeah.
It's like we can save a ton of money versus he would have charged us like $15-20K to re-roof the whole thing.
Which is wild because we are in a small one-story ranch home with like a very simple roof situation.
Yeah.
Like, how are people affording to put roofs on their houses right now?
So we decided to go with the full roof, gave him the middle finger, and did it all ourselves. So here we are.
And then the stuff that he told us was wrong wasn't even wrong. So
well, some of the boards are weak, but yeah, he lied about how much. He didn't understand what was happening underneath the shingles. It wasn't nearly as much water damage as he told us there was. But I'm glad that we're gonna have a fresh roof for the rest of the days that we live here.
Next question. Waiting.
I think it's waiting.
Waiting.
I think it's waiting.
Do you have a pic of Membriash during your early days of dating?
We'll include it here. Some of them. Wow, look at us, so young, right? I had hair.
So young. I had different hair.
You had different hair. Pure grays.
And then, what's your favorite Pokemon if you have one? I'm sorry, I don't know the Pokemon.
She doesn't know Pokemon, but she did say, without understanding that that's your profile picture, that...
I did say Squirtle.
She did say Squirtle. I think it's just one of the only Pokemons you know the name of.
It's probably the only one, yeah.
I always liked... I don't actually remember one of the names, because I haven't played Pokemon in a long time, but some of the ghost Pokemon... It was like Ghastly or something. Was always I always loved like that like Halloween ghosts, monsters, undead kind of thing. It's always fun for me. So I always like ghost Pokemon. And my favorite starting Pokemon, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, is of course the legendary Bulbasaur. Squirtle would be my second starting Pokemon.
Does anyone like Pikachu? Like, is that an acceptable answer to the question?
You can say that, but it's pretty like that's like
you don't know Pokemon.
You don't know Pokemon if you're saying
Okay.
Pikachu, probably. And then also when I played, like gotta have love for Beedrill. I mean, Beedrill is one of the like quick to evolve killer Pokemon. I don't know. I haven't played it so long again that I don't know any of the new ones, but I'm going mostly OG Pokemon. That red blue Pokemon shit.
I'm sorry, I can't participate in the conversation.
All right, there you go, Pokemon. Luke B asks or says you should celebrate your subs for your 5K video, which we totally agree. The thing is, Shout out your top 10 subscribers with the most posts. I don't know if maybe there's a way for us to look this up and we can add an addendum in the comments or something, but I didn't know how to do some of this stuff. So actually a lot of the people, and we're showing the names up here, a lot of the people that are in here asking questions are actually some of our most common posters. And so yeah, as far as like,
great idea though.
Yeah.
And actually I'll spend a minute trying to figure out if I can export the detail we get for the comments into like an Excel spreadsheet, and then I think I'd be able to do what you're asking. And if I can do that, then we will list those people here. And if not, we're gonna cut this so you won't see it. Shout out the subscriber with the most liked comment. Again, YouTube just doesn't really allow you to filter like that.
The data management thing here just doesn't seem, yeah. And maybe we're missing something, so we can look into this.
Might be, because we're not experts on like how to use
YouTube. Yeah.
How to YouTube. Yeah.
We're learning every day.
Also, I really just like thank you to Luke Beeks. I really like this idea. I think it's really great, and I think we should. It makes me think about how we could possibly utilize the data we have better and look into different ways to be able to do something like this in the future. So even if we can't do this now, I do want to see how we could, because I'm sure there is a way and we just don't know.
Yes.
What reality show would you do if you had to? We've been asked this before. I forget what I said.
I would probably do Survivor. We talked about a bunch of times about me actually like applying to be on Survivor.
That's true. We have talked about it.
Yeah, I would love it.
How fun would that be?
I would love it. I like making fire.
So great.
Yeah. Literally, I used to like do a lot of like outdoor bushwhacking in the Pacific Northwest, and like I know some survival skills, but I think I would go crazy on the show with all the backstabbing and the lying. So that sounds fun.
You would go crazy.
Yeah.
It would be actually stressful.
Or I would be like a serial killer. I would either be like stone cold, or I would be losing my mind. You don't
not
think so?
stone cold.
Okay, we'll see. No. We'll see. Maybe.
You're never gonna be.
I'm never gonna be on it.
Maybe you'd have to apply first.
I'd have to apply first. Yeah. How about you?
I don't know, man. I don't like to travel.
Real Housewives of Portland.
Yeah, make it. They come to our house to film. Could you imagine?
Oh, God.
Just weeds in the front yard. Amazing Race.
Okay. Yeah, you and your mom. That'd be fun.
No.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just thought I'd be on Survivor, so you'd be on the other one.
I'd do it with my mom, too. We just fight the whole time.
Okay.
Hawaii Ocean View says, do y'all go outside? Can you share proof? I actually, when someone said earlier, they're like, was the comment that made you laugh a lot? This comment made me laugh. I was like, oh yeah, that's true. We should show them proof of life. I feel like you're always mentioning you're not going out your social types. We only ever see you both sitting on a couch. We need to know that you leave the house.
Yeah, so we'll throw up some pictures or videos of our adventures here.
Mushrooms. Oh, we're finding a bunch right next to the car.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Beautiful. Got a freeze coming, so like 3 or 4 days. If these don't come out, they're not coming out.
Or no, like the Captain Morgan.
Look at that mouth. You look like you're on a green screen right now.
Would you ever... Okay, Ricardo Diaz asks, would you ever do reactions to movies? And the answer is actually we have done a few, and they are horrible. They bombed.
We did Slaughterhouse. They're actually, I think, our lowest viewed videos of all time, okay?
People do not
like them. Yeah. No, they don't like them.
So far.
We did Slaughterhouse, so that's in the archives. And then we also did Dracula 2000, which I thought was Queen of the Damned the entire time until we got to the end. So pretty bad reviews, honestly. They're not our best content.
We're not good at it, and just legitimately our format doesn't seem to be, or our advertising or the shows we're doing, people aren't clicking on it.
It would have to be like bad movies too. And like
with our style, right?
We just chat at each other like it, and we're not. I like movies. Like, I like film a lot, but I am not knowledgeable about it.
That's true. And also, when we're watching movies, if it's a good movie, we don't talk like this. Yeah. Like, we talk like this during reality TV shows or bad movies. Good movies, we're in it.
Movies, we're, like, zoned in.
We're not talking about it till afterwards. We might revisit it, but currently, no.
Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Williams Pinch says, I know Mitch is Gemini, Ash, baby girl, what's your sign? Did I do that justice? Was that embarrassing the way that I said
I
that?
don't know.
I don't know either. But I really like it. And my sign is Virgo.
There you go.
I don't know if I put a lot of stock in astrological signs, but there you go. Also, our combo is apparently terrible. But someone in the comments previously did tell us that this combo of signs, their parents were also
And
right?
married for like 30 years
Married,
or something.
So like, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Virgo, Gemini. That's us.
Mm-hmm.
Susanna Garcia, which actually I just want to call out. You're the one that suggested that we try wine with like either like a Coke type product or a lemon lime like
The
soda
lemon
type
lime
product.
appeals to me.
And we haven't yet, but this has been on my mind ever since. And at some point, I'm going to freaking try it. So I remember you suggesting some of the different ways to drink wine, and I want to check that out. Appreciate that. But you said Q&A. Will you be covering Love Is Blind Habibi? And the answer is yes. If they do Love Is Blind, we're going to cover it. Currently, it's our best shows. And also, I just generally do like watching it, and I've been really enjoying the Love Is Blind internationals. Like we are going to do Japan. People keep asking. We will do it. It's when, not if.
Yeah.
Somebody said they're not going to do more seasons of it though. Like it's canceled going forward. I don't know. Sounds crazy. But pretty much we're going to cover all of them going forward, as well as at least one or two historical seasons.
Do you know the nice thing about Love Is Blind too is that it's so dense. Like the interactions with people are there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
There's so many things to like key in on, and like so many places where like your own experience kind of like adds value to the conversation. And actually when we edit these, because we essentially watch the show again while we're editing,
like 2 or 3 times we watch it,
right?
Yeah.
I enjoy the rewatch because
right,
I'll catch
there's so
stuff,
much,
right?
Yeah.
Or I'll have read something else, and I'll be like, oh, that I see that now, and I didn't see that before, or whatever. So it's good for us, like for channel engagement, but it's also it's my favorite
an interesting show
to do this for.
I agree. Some shows
Love
that really
Blind
drag
and
to the
Ultimatum,
end.
honestly, are my two favorites to do for the
watching
channel.
and editing. It's actually really good. So we'll watch Habibi. We're gonna do like Ireland if that comes out, Germany, like all of it. Like we're down.
Yes. Okay. Solange Varela 5802. Question, only if you're comfortable answering. Do you not have children by choice? Sorry if this is personal, just curious. Please don't apologize. Nothing is too personal.
Yeah.
We will tell you if we don't want to answer something, or we just won't answer it. It is not really by choice. I don't know. This is another kind of tough one. I have like some pretty heavy health issues that have made having kids difficult, like thinking about carrying children, like very difficult. And we've experienced like some level of infertility related to that as well. If we had kids, I think we would be very happy with that, and that would be great, but not entirely sure that it's like a possibility for us. But then also we spent a lot of time in our youth just not being ready to have kids and not really knowing if that's what we wanted, right? So not trying at all. Like we very much didn't want to try to have kids. Kind of both. We chose not to for a really long time.
And the moment you switch, it's like, oh, it's hard now. I think we're really happy with just being the two of us. And we're kind of like really dealing with some of those questions of like, if we want kids, we need to really think about it like now.
Right. I think we're at the point too where like we would have to go through something like IVF. So
it's
that's
making
been like pretty big medical decisions. How invasive do we want to go? How much money it's very expensive doing these things. Like how much money do we have to try and like move forward with this type of thing? And is that the direction that we want to go? Yeah.
It's a lot of, so not by choice.
Not by choice.
Currently not by choice. Lori M asks, what do you like most about each other?
That's a good question. I think I like how much you commit to like a tangent. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. I do commit to a tangent.
Yeah.
I'll go rabbit hole for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Or like, even like big, like we used to live like 6 hours from an In-N-Out, and we would just be like, let's drive down In-N-Out today.
It was more like 8 hours round trip. I guess maybe when we were all the way down south, it was closer to 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love an adventure. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like you want to do this last minute crazy thing, and it's like
I'm erratic.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But I like that a lot.
I actually
spontaneity. Maybe that's
what I like about you is you're absolutely. I was thinking about this earlier because I saw this question.
Oh,
You're
okay.
absolutely quirky sense of humor.
Thank
Like
you.
you're so strange and so no, you're so interesting. You're like the most interesting person I've ever met,
Oh, that's
honestly.
nice.
And like,
Haven't met a lot of people, have you?
no, I've met a lot of people. I used to talk to hundreds of people every single day. Okay, I've met a lot of people.
Yeah.
You're just I don't know. Your sense of humor. Your
Oh, you're only supposed to say one thing. I only said the one thing, and now I feel bad.
No, what? No, yours is great too. But yeah, like that is you're just one in a million. Honestly,
I love you. I feel the
you're a little
same way.
deranged in like the best
I'm
ways.
deranged.
You know?
Yeah,
I
I'm
love that.
deranged. Yeah.
Biggest pet peeve about other people. For me, at this point, it's almost everything.
I don't like people that say one thing to your face
Mm.
and then another thing behind your back.
Which has been a lot of people you've known.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like, even if you have something a little bit harsh to say to me or like hard, I would rather you say it to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you like talking crap. I also don't like
Trust.
when people try and like are controlling to the point that they try and control other people's lives when it just has nothing to do with them and there's like no point in like why.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Which reality dating show is structured best for success?
Are any of them, honestly?
I would go by statistically by the numbers, and I don't even know what that is. But honestly, Love Is Blind is a little higher than some. Like, I feel like I'm not I feel like actually, Lori, you're asking us to be qualified for our job, and we're not. So I don't know. What's my opinion though? Of the ones I've watched, I hate Married at First Sight. Can I say that?
Married at First Sight is rough.
It's rough.
Yeah, I don't know if I can think of one that I think is like
Good.
actually, because I don't think any of them are structured for success. I think they're
structured
structured
for
for
drama.
drama.
Yeah.
And like television. What changes would you make? I think that Love Is Blind needs more mental health professionals. I think
Less alcohol and more mental health support.
I wish they would not film it. I wish they would like because Married at First Sight like films their like
it's
I don't like
exploitative.
that. I don't like that at all.
I hate the way they handle it.
So I wish they would not film it, and I wish that for some of the people that they would ask them good kind of follow-up questions and help them think about like why they're upset about something, why they act.
And
in
I
a
would say
certain
the
way.
therapist should have some sort of like level of separation from even if they're being paid by the show to not be controlled by the show in a way.
I am blessed. Says I would love to know, especially since you watch a lot of dating / marriage shows. We do. How have you been able to have such a healthy relationship with each other? And what advice would you give to someone who desires a relationship dynamic like yours?
This is hard because as we talked about and several times, like we have been very unhealthy at several times in our relationship.
Yes.
So our advice is like stick to it in a way. That's sort of what we did. But the other thing that we did that really does work is I think we value each other and we have changed when necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, like if like I'm hurting you, I listen.
Yeah.
And if you're hurting me, you listen.
Yeah.
And then you try and like change your behavior. I try and change my behavior so we're not hurting each other.
Yeah.
We've had therapy, lots of therapy.
I think that's
individual
actually
and couples counseling.
The couples therapy. So like we happened to have a very good couples therapist.
Yeah.
At one point, and he was incredible. And I would highly suggest that if you're experiencing like issues in your relationship. And something that he had us do that I think was really helpful was he had us put together like a family tree and talk about like family trauma. And at the time, I didn't know how much value it was adding to us, but I think it was like a point of conversation where you and I could relate to each other on certain things.
Actually, yeah, it's helped us communicate so much, just even like, because like we put it together and then like lo and behold, we have intense family trauma on both sides. So that he was like, wow, your family's up. And we're like, yeah, I guess it is. And no, but like it's helped me see you. And it's helped us process like early trauma in our relationship as well as more recent stuff.
Right.
And it helped me like understand like you as a person way better and the way you interact with your family and the way you show up in our relationship so much better by digging into some of that like root cause thing.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the other way around as well. But,
definitely. Yeah. I felt like it, even though we had been together for a really long time, like 15 years before we met with this particular counselor, He was absolutely incredible at helping us.
These last two questions we've already answered, but our video recorder died, so it might come off as a little bit different than the rest of the video. Anyway, Maylee asks, do you have any advice how to build and make a relationship last happily? I'm with my boyfriend for a year now. I'm looking forward to do what we can to have a future together. You guys seem so perfectly matched and balanced. I'd love some opinions. First off, if you are happy after a year, you're doing better than we did. That joke landed better the first time. For real though, what I think, what I said, what I think is that it was like be willing to grow with the person. If you're happy at a year, like things are going to change no matter what, and like valuing that person regardless, not regardless, but like, as things change, and then shifting with that, because your expectations, what you're doing with your hobbies, like where you're living, all those things can be a lot different, and not having the same relationship that you started is it will be what happens if you're together for a long enough time. So that's a big one for me.
I think looking at you as my family first and my partner second was really helpful for me, because then it's like, at the end of the day, even though we don't have kids, at the end of the day, for me, I knew that you were pretty much always going to be in my life unless something I couldn't fathom happened. Like, you would always be in my life. And then it's like, to me, about figuring out in the relationship, is this person a good match for you? Do you feel like you can appropriately maintain your own personal boundaries while being in the relationship? Do you feel respected? Do you feel supported? Things like that. And then if not, if that person wants to work on them, allowing that to be an option.
Yeah, and the other person should value your experience, even if it's not like objective reality. Like sometimes we actually got better at this, is like, okay, I don't feel like that's what happened, but I know you have feelings about that.
Right.
And like those feelings are still real regardless, like kind of like understanding, and then in that you're valuing the person.
Right.
And you're not necessarily always changing your perspective of reality, but like, let's say I say something rude and, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Well, I didn't mean it like that, but you still got offended, or you still got hurt by something I said. And then like, okay, well, you have feelings about it, and that's still important, that kind of stuff for me.
I can't remember if I said this before or not, but like, I think something that you can do personally to be like a good partner for your partner is like taking accountability for things that you do that are hurtful. I think like regardless, when you're with someone for long enough, you're going to be hurtful to them. And if you can say, yes, I did X, Y, or Z, even if it's awful, if you can look at them and say, yes, like I did that and I am so sorry, and have that apology be for them and not for you, I think it helps develop personal character to take accountability for the things you do wrong. And then I also think it helps the wronged party be able to heal from whatever that circumstance was.
Helps lift them from responsibility, because often victims of things end up blaming themselves.
Right.
Lindsay Puente Mundi asks, did you go on a cruise this summer, and was it fun? That's probably in reference to the final clip on every video that we play, where I ask if you want to go on a cruise with us this summer. And it's from one of our earlier videos when we talked about our irrational fears. And I was actually referencing the fact that I would never go on a cruise, and I've never been on a cruise. But when we lived in Florida, people would constantly, like, because it's a cheap port, or it's just like a common port for all sorts of cruises. People are always asking you if you're going to go on a cruise, or like, do you want to go on a cruise this summer?
Florida.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that I lived in Florida, because I just don't feel.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
No.
Yeah.
It never felt. We
weren't Floridians. No. Even though we lived there for 3 years, we were never truly Floridians.
No, we were trying to get out as fast as we could.
It's true. Actually, we were trying to get out ASAP.
Yeah.
Bit of a port of call for ourselves on the journey of our life.
Oh man.
Sorry, I've been talked to by producers and Bachelor. I have to say journey. Journey. Yeah, that's the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much for all of your questions. They were super thoughtful and great. I really appreciate all of them, and just like the engagement that everyone has given us has been incredible. Like, we wouldn't have the platform that we have if like y'all didn't interact with our videos and comment on things and like things. and
Share your ideas and opinions
Yeah.
about stuff.
oh my gosh, the amount of like labor that people put into explaining their points of view and correcting us when we're wrong and like sharing opinions that are different. I just really, really appreciate. It's one of the things that I love most about the channel, and I just really appreciate that from all of you. So thank you so much. Like, we're celebrating our 5K, but really it's y'all. It's like your 5K. You're the 5K.
Yeah, I mean, thank you all for enjoying what we're doing, and keep telling us what you want to see and what you think, because it shifts what our channel does. It really
sure.
does. Like, we listen to you, so we do different stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. We will be watching The Circle soon, like tomorrow, I guess. Today? What's day? What is day?
Today.
Soon.
Whatever. We're going to watch The
Day.
Circle, and then we're going to do other things too,
Day 1, day 2.
as they arise.
And then Love is Blind 7 is out October 2nd. So we will be watching those. And then I think Golden Bachelorette starts sometime very soon.
Oh, yeah, soon.
So
Yeah, we are doing
we
that
will
as well.
also be watching that.
Which was a question that I didn't see pop up again, but somebody asked it if we're doing Golden Bachelorette, and the answer is yes. Oh, if you didn't get your question answered, ask it below in the comments. If I either missed it or you just thought of a new question, throw it down below and I'll answer it. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.
Then I got it knocked, and I started going,
Ridiculous.
All those tearjerkers.
Hey, we're gonna go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.